Would you please remain upstanding for the national anthems of Kuwait and the United Kingdom? Thank you. Please be seated. I call upon Lord Patel of Dunkeld, Chancellor of the University of Dundee, to address the Assembly.
Good afternoon and most sincere welcome to all of you here today for this very special graduation ceremony of the University of Dundee and the Dasman Diabetes Institute. I'd particularly like to welcome all the friends and families of the graduates and the many dignitaries, both from Kuwait and United Kingdom, who are present here today. I appreciate, and the university appreciates you being here. My name is Naren Patel. I'm Chancellor of the University of Dundee, and I'm really very sorry that I'm not able to be with you today. I promise on another occasion I will fulfill that commitment. It is a very important day today because the graduates graduating today are the first batch of graduates to be graduating in diabetic care and education of the University of Dundee and the Dasman Diabetes Institute. I congratulate you all for your achievements. Your efforts are well recognized. I know how difficult it is to be working and at the same time studying. On graduation and the knowledge you have gained and the experience will now lead you to save lives of people with diabetes. Diabetes is rapidly becoming one of the leading causes of death and disability all over the world. We will all, in every nation, will have to learn how to take care of diabetic patients and prevent more patients getting diabetes. Congratulations, and hope you enjoy your day. I hope you celebrate it after the graduation ceremony. Thank you.
By the authority invested in me by Lord Patel of Dunkeld, Chancellor of the University of Dundee, I call upon His Excellency, Professor Hilal Al-Sayar, Chairman of the Dasman Diabetes Institute Board of Trustees and former Minister of Health, to address the Assembly.
Good morning. His Excellency Matthew Lodge, Professor John Connell, Professor Andrew Morris, colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin this short address by congratulating the graduates of University of Dundee Postgraduate Program in Diabetes, Education and Management. I know this is an important day for you, and I hope that you will enjoy and remember it. I also want to congratulate the families and friends of the graduates who are here with us. Your support was essential to what have been achieved. So it's your day too, to enjoy and celebrate. Dasman Diabetes Institute partnership with the University of Dundee has created a unique opportunity for students to study the most contemporary knowledge and practices in modern diabetes education and management. The program has enabled you to gain sound evidence-based knowledge of clinical, educational, and organization components of modern diabetes care so that you can contribute effectively to implementing a high quality of evidence-based clinical service in Kuwait. Postgraduate study is not only about extending subject knowledge, but also strengthening the analytical problem-solving and communication skills, and thereby increasing professional effectiveness. By achieving a qualification in diabetes care, education, and management, now you are well placed to contribute to the prevention, management, and understanding of this serious and widespread disease. Since the program's launch in September 2014, 2,014 students have enrolled. 110 enrolled on September 2014 modules, and 52 have been commenced their dissertation. In total, there has been over 660 students workplace-based projects which have directly impacted healthcare provision in Kuwait. Total of 51 students will be graduating, 16 at the certificate level, 19 at a diploma level, and 16 at a master's level. The students have joined the program from the 6 healthcare regions in Kuwait and represent a widespread of medical and health specializations. The Dasman Institute has rapidly evolved over the past 3 years since the program's launch. It has earned both international and regional recognition through the Canadian International Accreditation and the certification of the Executive Board of Health Minister Council for the GCC states as a collaborative reference center for the Gulf region. The Institute will further strengthen this unique collaboration with the University of Dundee, which is based on a shared commitment from all involved in healthcare delivery. We're all working towards bringing about transformational change, not only in the way we work and care for people with diabetes, but also in achieving highly successful clinical outcomes. I would like to also thank the board of KIFAS for supporting the Diabetes Institute, Dasman Diabetes Institute, for all their support. Finally, let me end by congratulating again for all of your achievements and your future contribution to the healthcare system in Kuwait. Thank you very much.
I call upon Professor John Connell and Professor Kazim Bipahani to present a thank you gift to Professor Hilal. By the authority invested in me by Lord Patel of Dunkeld, I call upon the British Ambassador to Kuwait, His Excellency Mr. Matthew Lodge, to address the Assembly.
Professors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honour and privilege for me to be able to join you this afternoon for this degree conferment. It's a very happy day. Professor Al-Sayar has set out the very close cooperation between the Dasman Diabetes Institute and the University of Dundee, but also the other partners involved. I myself have only been here in Kuwait for a number of months, but it happened that in the first few weeks, I think I met two of the professors who were sat on the stage to my left and heard about the cooperation that exists. For those who haven't had a chance to look in the programme in front of you, I'd encourage you to read it, because it explains how the expertise that was built up on Tayside, University of Dundee, NHS Tayside, has come together with the Dasman Diabetes Institute, the Kuwaiti Ministry of Health, and KFAS, the Kuwaiti Foundation for the Advancement of Science, and has produced what we are celebrating today. It has drawn from a cast of international students who have studied not only in the Arab world but in Europe and further afield. And it has provided for them, through the hard work and endeavour and the expertise pooled between the University of Dundee and the Institute here, it has provided a group of newly qualified, newly graduated students who are able to address some of the issues, some of the healthcare issues that are most topical and most pressing, certainly in Kuwait, but across our modern societies today. The business of diplomacy covers many aspects. Last week here in Kuwait, we were privileged to welcome British ministers alongside their Kuwaiti counterparts for what has become our 6-monthly joint steering group, where we discuss everything across the range of cooperation between the United Kingdom and Kuwait. On Wednesday and Thursday, that included discussions, as you would expect, on diplomacy and security, on defence, on trade and investment, on education, and on research. So the healthcare dimension of our relationship is something that is very much in our minds. It forms a very significant part of a cooperation between our two countries that goes back nearly 250 years. So it's not just something post-1961, but actually as British ambassador, I'm acutely conscious of not only the length but also the depth and breadth of the United Kingdom's relationship with Kuwait. I'm also conscious of how we have a responsibility to look to the future, to prepare and to make sure that we keep that relationship real and current. And I cannot myself think of a better example of cooperation between our two countries than that which we are celebrating here this afternoon. The sharing of expertise, the sharing of education and healthcare in issues that go right to the heart of our societies, so that we can help the practitioners of the future better understand the challenges that they face, and I hope continue to work together to address those challenges. So it gives me great pleasure to be here today. I'd like to conclude with my own personal congratulations to all those who will be receiving their degrees, and I hope that many, many other people will follow in the footsteps and the path that you have created. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
I call upon Professor John Connell and Professor Kazim Babahani to present a thank you gift to His Excellency.
So, Doctor, please. Doctor.
By the authority invested in me by Lord Patel of Dunkeld, I call upon Professor John Connell, Head of the College of Medicine, Dentistry and Nursing, Vice Principal for Research at the University of Dundee, to address the Assembly.
His Excellency, distinguished guests, graduands, families and friends, colleagues, to me this is a huge privilege. Firstly, for the opportunity to come back to Kuwait and to visit the Dasman Diabetes Institute. But more importantly, it's a privilege to represent the principal of the University of Dundee, on what is actually a unique occasion. Lord Patel said that this was unique because it was the first graduation of master's students on this course. But as far as I know, this is the first time our university has graduated master's students in any course outside Dundee. And that, I think, is very important for a university which has global aspirations. So I think this is a very important occasion for all of you, because you're graduating, but equally for the Dasman Diabetes Institute, because it is fulfilling its mission in relation to education, and to the University of Dundee as a partner in that. This course, this development, and this relationship has been developing really for around 5 years, and it stems from a vision of Professor Hilal Al-Sayar, but Dr. Kazem Bebahani, who understood the vital importance of improving care for patients with diabetes in Kuwait, where there is such a burden of disease. And from that vision, working with colleagues, led in Dundee by Professor Andrew Morris, has arisen what I think is a unique and hugely valuable cooperation that spans education, clinical improvement and research. And we are now seeing the fruits of that today in our first set of master's graduates, although we have already seen graduates in certificate and diploma courses before. And as the ambassador said, that, I think, is a good example of a wider relationship between the United Kingdom and Kuwait across a whole range of opportunities. A partnership that has existed for many years and I trust will continue into the future. Principal Downs has written, I think, a very important foreword to this ceremony in the book that which you all have. And in that he spells out the university's ambitions, the university's strategies and aims. But if I had to choose one aspect, I would say that the key issue for Dundee is that we seek to transform lives. And we do so by creating knowledge and applying knowledge and disseminating knowledge. And what we're doing today is again an example of that transformation, taking graduands and transforming them as practitioners into people who can care better for patients. And in so doing, I hope that we transform healthcare for that vulnerable population in Kuwait. And that is the mission of the University of Dundee, which I think is very well exemplified today in partnership with the Dasman Diabetes Institute. This relationship, I think, is evolving, and I think that's important. And I'm delighted today that we have senior representatives of the KFAS board, Kuwaiti Foundation for the Advancement of Science, because when I talked about the development of this program, yes, it was a joint relationship between the Dasman Diabetes Institute and the university, but the support of KFAS throughout this has been vital for us. And I think the presence today of KFAS board members exemplifies that continuing support, which is really, really important in developing care for patients. Things do change and expand. Later this year, a joint degree, a master's in the science of diabetes, will be developed between the university and the Dasman Diabetes Institute. And there are ambitious plans to build better our research portfolio across the United Kingdom and Kuwait, using the Dasman Diabetes Institute as a focus for that. And I see that development as being critical to improving the care for patients and furthering the mission that I've talked about. I'm delighted that this programme, this overseas reach from the university, is strongly supported by our principal, by the university court, by our Chancellor, who gave the foreword today, and I know that our Chancellor and indeed our principal would be keen to visit Kuwait when they can in the future, I hope when we have further graduation opportunities. So you can rest assured that this programme is highly valued in Dundee and I know by the UK government. I've said enough. This is really a day for celebration and congratulation for our graduates. So I hope that you and your families can take great pride in what you've achieved. As Lord Patel said, you have done so while holding down day jobs as well, and that's no mean task. So my personal congratulations to you for all of that. Enjoy the ceremony, and do take some time off from the busy schedule of work to reflect and enjoy what you have achieved so far. Thank you very much, Shukran.
I call upon Professor Kazim Bibhani and Professor Andrew Morris to present a thank you gift to Professor John Connell.
Please stop here.
By the authority invested in me by Lord Patel of Dunkeld, okay, I call upon Professor Kazim Bibhani, Director General of the Dasman Diabetes Institute, to address the Assembly.
I would like today to ceremony on behalf of the most of us, which is coming here, as well as especially His Highness the Sheikh Sabah Ahmed Sabah Jabir Sabah in Kuwait, who really is very supportive of what we do, and for that. A lot of things we have already done, and I think we're going to do much more better in the future. At the same time, we have the board members of the Dasman, and we are very happy that to have you here, and also the board members which are our committee, which is also. Now, having said that, I'm really pleased and happy to see His Highness, the Excellency Matthew Lodge, to be here with us today. We are neighbors, and then we can see, I know that this evening we are going to come in your place, and I'm very happy to see that what celebration we are going to do, it will end up with a fantastic place in your place. That one. In addition, our colleagues, they come from Scotland. There are a number of them you can see on the other side, as well as the rest in here. And we are happy to see this is happening now. And I'm happy that we will continue in the future. Because right now, this is the second batch that we have. One was 3 years ago, which was not the master degree. But this time is a master degree added to it. So we will have plenty of the issue and other things that here, and the students were becoming now, getting the degree. They could make a lot of change in Kuwait. Most of them are from the Ministry of Health. And in that case, that we are very privileged, I think, to get the changes which will happen in the country. And after that, we will have to continue for another 200 in order to get the things done for Kuwait. And I think this by itself is something that the reason is, I remember that type 1 diabetes was a small part of the life here, but type 2 was big life, but we didn't have it in Kuwait before, because at the age of 40 and so on, you get type 2 at that time and so on. And unfortunately, it was amputation and so many things happening in that we are also taking all those items which is in this, we're going to start doing it now. And you could see that how we are dealing with these groups, so they do not, their legs will not be cut, unfortunately. And we have already 18 patients which are here to look at this. And if this is actually become successful, and I think it would be fantastic for Kuwait. And I'm very happy to see this is doing. So I have a lot of colleagues. Everybody is working very hard. Everybody is looking for whatever they can do in order to make the things different. And I would suggest that those of you have not seen the house and you have not seen what we do, you come and then we show you what we do in here. And I think it's very something, for me, it's something that I'm proud of on that one. Now, today, we have this group. And they are going to be soon given the degree. And this is the first time we give a master degree, which is nice and that one. So with all this pattern which we are doing together, and we are looking after you, and the things that you will learn from here, you will make a lot of change in our country. So I'm very happy to see that. And I'm grateful for the amount of time you spend for 3 years in order, this is the second part of the 3 years. So in Kuwait, and then you will accept this from me. Thank you very much.
I call upon Professor Andrew Morris and Professor John Connell to present a thank you gift to Professor Behbahani. By the authority invested in me by Lord Patel of Dunkeld, I call upon Professor Andrew Morris, Chief Scientist of Scotland and Honorary Professor at the University of Dundee, to address the Assembly.
His Excellency Dr. Hilal Al-Sayar, Ambassador, ladies and gentlemen, students, soon to be graduates, and families, a huge welcome. Salam alaikum. This is truly a magnificent day. When I was preparing a few notes, I remembered it was the 15th of December in 2010 when my mobile phone went off. And it had a very unusual suffix. It was a +965. And I immediately thought my children had been messing with my phone. But it wasn't. It was Dr. Kazem Behbahani phoning me from Kuwait. And after a 10-minute conversation, I immediately identified a gentleman with energy, drive, and enthusiasm, and also a man in a hurry. I also knew he was a man we could do business with because he shared the same values and principles and vision that if we're to achieve transformational change of health systems whilst maintaining and improving the care quality of today, then one needs a package. And the package is education, research, improvement, and measurement. Because if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. And that was the beginnings of what I think is quite a unique collaboration. In February, it was actually February 2011, it was the first time I stood at this podium, invited by Dr. Hilal Al-Sayar, Ya Basha. And little did I realize that I would visit Kuwait 17 times over the next 4 years. This is my 17th visit. In Arabic, that's sabotage. So I've been on that British Airways 157 17 times. But it is a great occasion, and I think that all the partners, because this is a real partnership, should be justly proud of what they've achieved. Our friends from CAFAS, Ministry of Health, the Dasman Diabetes Institute, and our friends and partners in Scotland. So we should be proud, and I think the data sustain that in terms of the number of discovery courses, an outstanding clinical skills centre led by Professor Jean Kerr and colleagues in Kuwait, 240 students, 763 work-based placements, which have made a difference in healthcare. So I think the numbers add up. But actually, at lunchtime today, a student came up to me and she just very briefly said, "This has changed my life," which is really nice. This has changed my life. So I think all colleagues from Scotland and Kuwait who form this high-energy faculty should be justly proud. So this is a great day, but as Churchill said, with greatness goes responsibility. And what we have created, I think, is a community and a movement. So students, you are the future. Diabetes and chronic diseases are placing an enormous pressure on health systems internationally. The rise of chronic disease. Our colleagues in the States are almost spending 20% of their GDP on healthcare. So that's not sustainable. But at the end of the day, the quality of care provided to patients is determined by individuals at the front line. Individuals at the front line. The role of government, policymakers, politicians must be to support them. And I think this is a great example of supporting people at the front line, to equip them, we hope, with the skills that will allow you to create a learning healthcare system which will drive out unacceptable variation and drive up the quality of care. So we're very proud of you. Congratulations. Just to acknowledge it's been really hard work. Mary can be a hard taskmaster. Her deadlines are sometimes a bit scary, but you've done this whilst working. So you've done this in the margins of your day, and so it's in addition. So all credit to you, and also to your families, because I know that it does intrude on family life. So all credit to you. So thank you for everything, and I think what we're seeing today is the same drive, energy, enthusiasm that I picked up from Chasm when I answered that funny phone call in 2010. That's only 4 years ago. So congratulations. I think we are at the end of the beginning. There's so much more to achieve, and we hope to partner with you in that journey. So may I wish you well as you transform the care of people living with diabetes in Kuwait. We hope you've learned a lot from us. We've certainly learned a lot from you as part of this partnership. And lastly, this is really about teamwork, and it's a bit invidious to mention one or two people, but just one or two colleagues who've really put an enormous amount of effort in. Not only Dr. Kazem Behbahani, OBE, but also Michael Furbert. I think Michael's here. He's usually dashing around, so thank you, Michael, for your tireless enthusiasm. Faten Suka, who's led the educational. I can't see Faten. She's got a gown on. There she is. So, Faten. And all our Kuwaiti friends on faculty, such as Rula Barak and colleagues. And, of course, the Scottish team, because although I've been on that flight 17 times, I think Jean and Mary have probably done it twice as often. So I think you'll agree that Jean and Mary have been outstanding tutors, mentors, and friends over the last year. So good luck, hamdulillah, and thank you.
I call upon Dr. Kazem Behbahani and Professor John Connell to present Professor Morris with the thank you gift.
So I like to say two words. You notice that what you said about 2 years ago, and that was took 5 minutes. Dr. Hilal agreed, and I put something in the other room, and you came inside and said yes. So that's it.
I remember it very well.
Good sense of review.
By the authority invested in me by Lord Patel of Dunkeld, I call upon Professor Jean Kerr to lead the graduands in the declaration.
Graduands, I will read the declaration, and at the end I will ask you to say, I agree. I solemnly promise to use, to the best of my knowledge and ability, the art and science of my profession for the good of those under my care, and to make the preservation and restoration of their health my constant aim. I shall keep secret anything I see or hear in my practice that should not be divulged. I shall constantly endeavour to improve my knowledge and skills within my profession and to share useful discoveries with my fellow practitioners whom I promise to hold in fraternal regard. These things I shall do for the benefit of those for whom I do service and for the honour of the profession to which I belong. Do you agree?
I agree.
By the authority invested in me by Lord Patel of Dunkeld, I call upon Ms. Fatin Sukar to read the names of the graduands.
Good afternoon. On behalf of myself and the Education and Training Department, I congratulate you. I call upon the Postgraduate Certificate in Diabetes Care and Education. Rahaf Al-Kurdi. أحمد بمفتاح. فاطمة محمود. سابينا سابو. Marie Julie Thompson. I now call upon Postgraduate Diploma in Diabetes Care and Education, Hana Al-Halabi. Mariam Baghlai. Michael Bishara. Bashir Remla Biji. Muhammad Fadda. Randa Faiz. Azza Gawish. Suad Hamza. Najla Hussein. Rizwana Mahmoud. Muhammad, afwan. Sorry, Muhammad. Rana Wafa. I now call upon the Postgraduate Masters in Diabetes Care and Education. Afaf Al-Itsani. Huda Al-Unizi. نائل الحميدي. الحامدي عفوا. سامر السمعانة. دلة الظفيري. It's gonna fall again. I hope they're not gonna fall off. ريم الحلبي. فاطمة إسماعيل. Svetlana Katileva. Thank you. Maram Katur. Alfred Nassif. Fauzia Parker. Zahra Rahmi. Ghada Salim. It keeps sliding off. Muna Sulaiman. Last but not least, Nabila Watsi.
I think you all agree that the graduates deserve a great big cheer. Well done. Please be seated.
Order.
Professor Connell, I have the honour to invite you to confer the degrees in absence upon the candidates who have been unable to attend this ceremony.
By the authority of the Senate, I confer these degrees.
Thank you. I now call upon Professor Kazim Behani to present the remaining thank you gifts along with Professor John Connell. Mr. Michael Ferbert. To Miss Fatin Sukar. Mr. Tariq El-Yarin. Tariq. Here. Yes. Professor Jean Kerr.
And Professor Mary Scott.
That ends the formal ceremony, and the academic procession will now leave the auditorium, followed by the graduates, with the rest of the audience remain standing until after we have left. Okay. The graduates are requested to return to the auditorium following the ending of the ceremony for photographs altogether, please. Those individuals attending the British Embassy reception on invitation should gather in the auditorium at 3:45. Thank you.